A hexagonal prism, side of base 30 mm and axis 80 mm is resting on an edge of base on the HP, inclined at 40 degree to the VP, with its axis inclined at 60 degree to the HP. Draw the projections of the solid. First of all, consider the three-dimensional representation of this question. Now this one is the case of a hexagonal prism. Now we have to construct two mutually perpendicular planes VP and HP. VP represented in blue color and HP represented in green color. Now let us assume that this is the initial position of the prism. We have to fix this hexagonal prism only in this manner for turning the prism at an angle 40 degree to the VP, and it also makes 60 degree to the HP. That means axis makes 60 degree to the HP. So for that we have to initially position the hexagonal prism in this manner, such that the two adjacent edges are equally inclined to vertical plane. Then in second case we have to tilt as per the question. So before going to that, we can see the front and top views of first stage. So observe this hexagonal prism from the front side. That means project all the top corners to the vertical plane, bottom corners to the vertical plane, join all that corners, will get one rectangle, and that one represent the front view of hexagonal prism corresponding to initial stage. Then for getting the top view, observe the hexagonal prism from the top side, project the bottom corners and top corners to the horizontal plane, join all that corners, you will get one hexagon like this, and it will be the top view of corresponding to the initial stage. Now for understanding the geometry, we have to mark the corners and let the bottom corners are A, B, C, D, E, F. So these are the bottom corners. So now we are going to tilt the hexagonal prism based on this area, this edge, that is AB, because the bottom corners are A, B, C, D, E and F. Now consider the center point of bottom face as P and the center point of top face as O. Then in first stage we are going to tilt this hexagonal prism, and for that we have to consider the line joining the center points of bottom and top faces, that is PO. So PO will be the axis. Now in second stage, this is the axis PO, and that axis makes an angle 60 degree to the horizontal plane. Now this angle, that is the axis of this hexagonal prism, makes 60 degree with the horizontal plane. So now to draw that, from the initial front view, take all the dimensions, all the corners, then take this corner, because we are going to tilt the object about the edge, about the bottom edge AB. Now this one will be the area corresponding to the edge AB. Then again this angle makes 60 degree to the horizontal plane. Then complete the rectangle like this by taking dimension from the first front view. And now for getting the top view, we have to observe this object from the top side. Again there will be visible edges and the edges which are not visible when we are looking from the top side. So the outer edges are all visible. Then project all the bottom corners and top corners to the horizontal plane, mark the bottom all the bottom corners and top corners into the horizontal plane, then join corners which are visible by thick lines, then again join the corners which are not visible from the top side as dotted lines. Now this figure represents the top view corresponding to the 60-degree inclination with the horizontal plane. Then in question it is given that the hexagonal prism makes an angle 40 degree with VP from its one of the base edges. That means let us assume that this is a point AB where that hexagonal prism rests. Now this edge AB makes an angle 60 degree 40 degree to the vertical plane. That means we have to tilt again this hexagonal prism at an angle 30 degree. Now this is the edge AB. This edge AB makes 40 degree with the XY line. Then again looking from front side, this is the final position. Looking from front side, we'll get the corresponding points here. That means project all the bottom corners, top corners, then join the visible lines as thick and the lines which are not visible by dotted lines. So this is the final front view corresponding to the 40 degree inclination of the base edge and 60 degree inclination to the axis. 60 degree inclination of axis with the horizontal plane. Then again for getting the top view, you have to observe the object from the top side, project the corners to the horizontal plane, then join the corners. So it will be like this. This one represents the final top view. Here also we have to mark the outer edges which are visible as thick lines and the back side edges which are not visible as dotted lines. So this is the final views. Now we have to represent this three-dimensional geometry into the 2D plane. For that we have to consider the initial position such that the adjacent edges makes equal inclination with the horizontal plane, equal inclination with the XY line. So initially we have to draw the XY line which is the intersection of vertical plane and horizontal plane. Then it is given that the edges are 30 mm apart. That means mark all the corners by taking 30 mm, complete this hexagon. Mark the bottom corners as A, B, C, D, E, F and the center of the bottom face is P and the top face is O. Here the point P which is not visible, that is why represented inside the bracket. Now for getting the front view, project all the corners to the XY line. We have to draw perpendicular line to this XY line. Then it is given that the height of the prism is 80 mm. Now mark distance 80 mm from the XY line. Then represent all the top corners and join all these corners. So these are the points corresponding to the E dash, B dash, A dash corresponding to bottom corners. Then the center of the top face is O dash and the center of the bottom face is P dash. Then join all these corners. We will get one rectangle represent the initial position of the hexagonal prism. Then in second stage we are going to tilt this hexagonal prism at an angle 60 degree. That means the axis of the prism is making 60 degree with the XY line. Then again mark all this distance, take all this distance. So first of all draw the axis, makes angle 60 degree, draw perpendicular lines, mark the points A dash, B dash, E dash, etc. Then join all these points. So this is the front view corresponding to 60 degree inclination. Then for getting the top view of this 60 degree inclination, extend all the corners, all the top and bottom corners downwards. Then again extend the projections from the first top view in the rightward direction. then the corresponding meeting points can be represented like this. That means the point A1 will be the intersection of A and A dash, B1 will be the intersection of B and B dash. Then in this manner we can represent all the bottom corners A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1. Then the center of the bottom face is represented by P1 and the axis is represented by P1 O1. This is the front and top views corresponding to 60-degree angle of inclination of the axis of the hexagonal prism. Then in a stage we are going to tilt the base AB with 40 degree to the XY line. So this is the base edge AB. Now this AB is to be represented by 40 degree angle with the XY line. Then take all the dimensions corresponding to the second stage corners like A1, B1, C1 bottom corners. We have to mark all the bottom corners here by taking dimensions from the second top views. Mark A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1, etc. And also the top corners here again P1, O1, which is the axis of the hexagonal prism. Now again, for getting the top view of the final stage, extend all the projection lines from the top view into upward direction perpendicular to XY line, and extend the front views of the hexagonal prism in second case, which makes 60 degree in rightward direction. Again join all the corresponding points. Then we will get bottom corners which can be represented as A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash, D1 dash, E1 dash, F1 dash. Then center of the bottom face P1 dash, then center of the top face O1 dash, and axis P1 dash, O1 dash. Now this one represented in the final front view corresponding to 60 degree inclination of axis and 40 degree inclination of the one of the corner, which makes 40 degree with the XY line.